I have with me Jeb Burton, a winner in the Nascar Truck Series, who currently drives the Richard Childress Racing Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Jeb, thanks for joining me.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Welcome. Now, your father, Ward, and Uncle Jeff were both highly successful in NASCAR. When did you decide that you would follow in their footsteps?
So I started racing late models. I started racing go-karts and did that for a while, and then I started racing late models and was always fast and just wanted to pursue it as a career.
How often were you at races with your father when you would have been a lot younger?
I would go almost every weekend, so I was definitely really involved and had a lot of fun.
Alright, so what was it like when he won the Daytona 500 back in 2002?
That was a fun afternoon, and I remember it pretty well. I was about 9 years old, so it was definitely a good chunk of years ago, but it was definitely a lot of fun, and it was a career moment day for Dad, and it was really special.
Certainly something that would be hard to forget. Now,
that's right.
Yes, it would. Now, what do you consider to be your best memory from racing?
For my career or my dad?
I guess from your career.
Probably me winning at Texas, but that was definitely a cool night. But I've had a bunch of cool days in racing. Had a lot of bad days too, but had some really good memories as well. I remember me getting my first truck pole at Martinsville. That meant a whole lot to me, and we're still fighting right now to get back where we need to be, and kind of been a struggle. So we're gonna keep fighting, and so we can have some more of those good days.
Yes, and also, who do you consider to be your best, and if you're willing to answer, worst teammate in racing?
That's a tough one, man. I've had some good teammates, and I've had some okay teammates. I haven't really had horrible teammates before, so I prefer not to answer that question.
Fair enough. Now, what track do you consider to be your favorite, and which track do you consider to be your favorite and least favorite to go to?
I really like Martinsville because it's close to home, and I'm a short track guy, and I've always ran well there. I like Martinsville, and the one I least look forward to go to would probably be I haven't really ever ran well at Loudon before. That one's kind of been a tough one for me, but I don't think I've had the right equipment when I've went there either, so that's probably one reason I haven't liked that place.
I didn't quite catch what you said there. What track did you say it was?
Loudon.
Oh, Loudon, New Hampshire. Yes. Yeah. Now, also, each year from 2012 to 2016, you ran into issues with being released from teams due to a lack of sponsorship. What did it feel like to go through that?
Was it tough, man? It continues to happen every year. I mean, that's all the sport really is about now, is how much money you can bring, and it's just a lot different than it used to be when my dad was coming up, and I know I can do it if I have the right tools behind me and have the team behind me, and this year I had a couple of decent runs. In the 3-car, it just don't have the funding that it takes to run more races, and I'm lucky to have the funding I have with State Water Heaters and Estes. Without their support, I wouldn't have ran any races this year at all.
Are you planning on doing any more races this year in any of the 3 series?
Not right now. I'd love to run a truck race at Martinsville. I just don't have the funding for it.
Well, hopefully you can find something.
Trying, man.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned that NASCAR, in terms of drivers getting cars, is determined by how much money they can bring. Now, also, it's safe to say that over the past few years that NASCAR's attendance and television ratings have declined. What's your opinion of that?
Well, I think I think all sports are declining just because people don't have the interest in sports like they used to. I think that's one of the main things. And two, I think a lot of people my age don't watch racing and not car people like they used to be too. I think that's another thing that you're seeing, and I think that's a big part of it. To be honest with you, I mean that's kind of my opinion on all the sports, with the decline of views and stuff.
Yeah, I would say that really sports in general definitely seems to be declining in terms of general interest. But I would,
Sure.
right, like, but I would also say though that I've seen some people that it's like they don't really watch the broadcasts of any sport weekly, but they might say watch highlights of it, on the internet or what have you.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Now, earlier you did mention that you were planning on you were trying to find you mentioned that you were trying to find an opportunity for races later this year. How close do you think you are to getting something? Also, have you maybe considered competing in other racing series?
So right now I'm not really that close to getting really anything done. I'm just trying to find a partner that could do a truck race maybe at Martinsville. I'm not don't have any more commitments for this year to race, so I'd love to go drive really anything. So I'm just looking to see what's out there, and we're starting to already work on 2019 as we speak.
Okay. I mean, like I said earlier, I hope you can find something, if not for the rest of this year, for next year at least. Now, also,
We're trying.
yeah, at this point in NASCAR, there seem to be quite a bit of second-generation drivers, such as yourself, who have been able to find more than a little bit of success. I'm talking people like Ryan Blaney, John Hunter Nemechek, amongst others. Now, when you all were younger, did you really know them, like from going to races and whatnot?
Yeah, me and Blaney were friends. Me and Chase Elliott were pretty good friends growing up. Hung out with those guys really every weekend at the track.
Were there children of drivers back then who themselves wanted to be a driver, but just for one reason or another didn't work out that you know of?
Not that I know of. I was surprised some didn't take that path, like Dale Jarrett's son and Michael Labonte's son, and there were some others. I was surprised that they didn't pursue that.
Now, when you won your Truck Series race at Texas back in 2013, what did it feel like to go through that?
It was pretty special, I should have won a couple more races that year, but didn't. Got real close, but Texas was definitely really special. And, it was definitely a once in a lifetime feeling, and hopefully I can get back to victory lane soon.
Which track that none of NASCAR's three main series no longer race at would you have liked to race at?
Well, I raced at Rockingham. I like that one a lot. Probably North Wilkesboro.
Okay, that was a pretty good track. Didn't it basically end up getting shut down because the dates went to two other tracks, right?
I can't remember.
Okay.
Before my time.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was a case of, like, basically the track got sold to either SMI or ISC, and then the two dates went to, I think they actually both bought it, and like, it went to, each date went to one of their tracks. Either way, it's too bad. Now, yeah. Now, what do you consider to be the most significant change, for better or worse, to NASCAR since you were a child and your father and uncle were racing in it?
technology.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, you look at, in recent years, some of the, for example, crashes that have happened that drivers have walked away from with no injury whatsoever, that even, say, 20 years ago, they might have gotten hurt.
Yeah, I mean, that is one positive thing. The technology with the safety stuff is good, but the technology with the race cars is not. That's why you don't see small teams run good anymore. I mean, my dad's old team, Bill Davis Racing, it's the reason they shut down. They couldn't keep up with the big dogs, and that's one of the problems with the sport. That's the reason the 78 and the 4-car and the 18 win every race. I mean, it's three guys that are really good, but those three teams are the best, and they've won like 15 races this year.
Yeah, they've to this point they've won all races except the 3 restrictor plate races so far.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, it used to be. I would say NASCAR. Excuse me.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. But no, I would say NASCAR, even say 10, 15 years ago, when you look at, major racing series, was probably the best at having pretty open competition. I mean, and not having a large disparity between what would be considered the top teams and the, admittedly lesser teams.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying, man.
In fact, I would say probably within the last 5-6 years or so, realistically, IndyCar is probably the best series when it comes to relative competitiveness throughout the field.
Yeah. You're right.
Now, also, there have been recent rumors of street circuits joining NASCAR. What's your opinion of this?
I don't think that will ever happen.
Personally, I think it'll be something that if they do, and that's a big if, it'd probably be something that would be done, like they'd start off at either the Truck or Xfinity series, and if they believe that it's successful, they might eventually move up to the Cup series. Realistically, the only positive I would see to it would be that they're essentially bringing the racing to large amounts of people, and which could help with the popularity of the sport.
Well, you say that, but a lot of the venues can hold 200,000 people, and they're not there.
True. And plus, even true. Yeah. And plus, even if they come, and of course, even if they do come to a race that's at a street circuit, there's nothing to say that they'll actually follow the series itself.
That's right.
Now, one last question here. When you eventually do retire from racing, which hopefully won't be for a while, have you considered going into broadcasting like your uncle?
I don't know. I don't think that's something that I would probably like to do for the TV side. I might could do something on the radio or something. I did it one time in Michigan a couple years ago, and I actually enjoyed it. So maybe one day, I'm not sure.
Like, was it the radio broadcast or like the public address?
Yeah, something like that. I'm not sure. Maybe one day. I hadn't really given it much thought.
Well, like I said, hopefully that will be a while.
I hope so. We better do something different.
Yeah. Now, I just want to say thank you for taking time out of your day to do this, and I wish you the best of luck whenever you do races again.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. It's definitely tough. It just takes a lot of money to do this deal, and I just hadn't found it yet.
Yeah, well, just remember, whenever you have the low times, it'll make the good times seem even better.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Well, thank you.